So those are very optimistic comments for FY24, but I want to understand how was FY23 for you? Also, could you please share some numbers on how the overall business performed?
FY23 we did well. We possibly think we did about a growth of about 40% last year in comparison to the year before that. While I think we could have come closer to what we think we could have done for this financial year, I think we are pretty much clued into what FY24 will deliver to us. This year in FY24, our estimate of revenue is around 1100 crores.
Okay. So where exactly is this growth coming from? The tax business, audit, assurance, consultancy, where exactly is the growth coming from?
Audit is one service that has been growing very well for us. And thereafter, we have growth that we are seeing in advisory, which also includes outsourcing as a part of it. Tax is also growing at a reasonable clip, although I would say we should possibly want to grow that particular part of our service much faster.
Also, what about hiring plans for FY24? And how are your hiring plans in 23? Because there is a clear talent crunch in audit. So just wanted your perspective on that.
You're right about the last piece that you mentioned. Is there is a talent crunch and there is a massive amount of attrition that we've seen in the last couple of years, especially as the pandemic started weaning away from us. And then the first time we saw that attrition would have invaded our space as well. But then, of course, mirrored globally what was happening, and we were no different in that sense. And it continues to a certain extent. It's possibly stabilized a bit. Now it is not as bad as it was possibly 6 months ago or a year. But to the point to say, is there a talent crunch? The answer is clearly a yes. And we, of course, need to go deep inside the country to look at, to find out qualified accountants who can work with us. So that's been what we've been doing for the last couple of years, that can we get accountants who are qualified from different parts of the world? And I think we have a plan that possibly in the coming 2 or 3 years of time, we'll possibly go to 30 cities outside of the 30 how would I say, tier 2 and tier 3 towns and cities outside of the locations we're already present, to be able to look at this talent. So I think the whole turn of events is that it's no more that people come looking for jobs into the big metros. It is now we take the jobs to them wherever they're situated. Yeah. So that's one way to answer the talent crunch that you speak about. And current hiring plan for this financial year is around 2,500, in my view, what we should be looking at.
Okay. Milind, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand BDO caters to a few industries like BFSI, technology, media, telecommunications, and e-mobility. So which industry, according to you, has been performing well, in at least in the last financial year? And where do you see the outlook for FY24? Also, do you see any, do you see venturing into any of the other industries like retail or pharma or any other industry?
So, of course, BFSI and the banking industry has been our main focus, has always been for the last 3 to 5 years of time. We are possibly the leading audit firm for the banking industry in the country. That's what is the, I would say, standout service offering from our side. But of course, ITS is also a great story for us as well, complementing what's happening in the landscape of India. So these two, of course, remains our core sector focus as of this point of time. We, of course, want to look at more sectors that we can deliver to going forward, such as pharma, as you mentioned, and manufacturing as well. And but of course, the competencies required are very different for these kind of sectors as opposed to, and we are actually unsurprisingly a Bombay-based firm. So clearly the focus would be at BFSI because it's the heartland of financial services in Mumbai. This is proximate to us, and therefore this has been our strength. Manufacturing is largely in New Delhi and in Chennai thereafter. So that's not where our focus and strength has been in comparison to Bombay. But as an area of focus, Delhi is, of course, at the topmost of our mind. And therefore, manufacturing and automobile would always remain a top priority focus for us going forward.